It's finally arrived. It has felt like an eternity, but the college football season is underway. The first full weekend, Labor Day weekend, we finally have college football. I have a few games that we're going to discuss, including the Longhorns. College football, the season has kicked off. Let's talk about it.
We've got a lot of players from the state of Texas. I think we got at least 19 from the state of Texas. Many of our starters are born in the state of Texas. And over half of our staff is either from Texas or coached at Texas. So we're very familiar. We recruit down there a lot. And like most people that have been in the state of Texas or from the state of Texas, to play in Austin and Memorial Stadium is a big deal.
It is. DKR, Memorial Stadium, it's sold out. And a big self-promotion here. First time ever. Season ticket holder myself. I have never been a season ticket holder for any sport, mainly because I was in the media for so long. So I didn't do that. But, hey, college football has arrived. I am Sean Clinch, your host of Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast. That was Jay Norvell, the head football coach at Colorado State, a friend of the pod, a Stories Inside the Man Cave VIP alumni. Hey, right now, August 30th, you know what day it is? I know it's Friday. It's Wear Your Colors Day, so I'm representing my alma mater, Stephen F. Austin, the background, Homer Bryce Stadium at Stephen F. Austin State University, now a part of the University of Texas system. Before we talk about some of the games to look at, to follow, which may be of interest to you and yours, I want you to go ahead and follow each of our social media platforms. We're on all of them. It takes about an hour and a half to list each of the social media platforms which are available nowadays. And a big shout out to each of these sponsors. Honest Plumbing and Air, where a handshake still means something. And Hargrove Roofing, where you truly know who's on your roof. And Dirty Martin's Place just celebrated 98 years in the ATX. It is an Austin, Texas original. Give Daniel, my buddy, the GM, a shout out and some of the best carbs that money can buy and a step back in history. And Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance Agency. He's been insuring Austin, Texas, and anywhere in Texas for decades, a Longhorn legacy and a Westlake OG. Give my buddy Jim Saxton a shout out for all of your insurance needs. All right, so to the game. Texas hosting Colorado State. Jay Norvell. He has literally been building this program the last 3 years. He had to start over. They have a ton of momentum going on in Fort Collins with a renovated stadium. Jay Norvell, he has taken the approach to building long-term. He had some really good transfers come in, namely Armani Wingfield from Baylor through the transfer portal. They finished 5-7 last year, the Rams, but they have an explosive offense. I guess your weakness for the Colorado State Rams would be defense. That's where Texas can light them up, I believe. But I promise you that Jay Norvell and the Rams, they installed the Texas game plan probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, working on that game plan. I will give it to Jay Norvell. He used to be a former, for a short-term assistant, I believe, on Charlie Strong's staff. I got to know him when he was on Bob Stoops' staff at the University of Oklahoma. And just know that they will have a competitive team. But as far as what I think is going to happen, the Horns will win by 4 touchdowns, but they're not going to cover the spread. If you're the gambling type, which I gave up in my mid-20s, take CSU plus 32. Chloe interrupted the podcast. Yeah. All right, let's move to the SEC, where I've selected a couple of games that we truly need to keep an eye on. Let's begin in Athens, Georgia. The number 1 defending national champion dynasty, the Georgia Bulldogs. They have taken over what Nick Saban, now retired, had at Alabama. number 1 in the country, hosting number 14, Clemson and Dabo Swinney. Georgia's going to win the game, but they're giving Clemson it's 13.5 points. So my deal is Georgia will beat Clemson if you're going for a straight-up victory, the Bulldogs for sure. But I'm leaning toward, for the Vegas odds, take Clemson plus 13.5. I'm feeling that. How about Texas A&M? ESPN College Game Day is posted up in College Station. Johnny Manziel is going to be the guest picker for ESPN Game Day on the set in College Station. They're hosting Notre Dame. Number 7 Notre Dame and the 20th ranked Aggies. Mike Elko, his first season. There's going to be magic in College Station. Kyle Field, a tremendous problem for opponents, historically speaking. Here of late, A&M has won some big games there, but they've also lost their share, including to Appalachian State not too long ago. But I think it's going to be electric, so much so that I'm taking the Aggies to straight up upset Notre Dame. And I don't even think we need to talk about point spreads or anything. Connor Wegman, he was injured last year, the great quarterback for Texas A&M. There's so much debate of who the best quarterback is in the state of Texas. Quinn Ewers is one of them who's a Heisman candidate potential. Connor Wegman, I think, you keep him upright. That offensive line is built and improved from last year. Expect Connor Wegman to have a big year, but will upset the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. All right, upset potential. Just go up the road, I-35, take the exit in northern Oklahoma to Stillwater for the home of the Fighting Gundys. South Dakota State, I want to give you a little lesson here. South Dakota State, they are 9.5-point underdogs. They're a member of the football championship subdivision, the old 1AA, the same division my alma mater's in, Stephen F. Austin. But they have won back-to-back FCS national championships. They call themselves the Jacks because they're the Jackrabbits. They're very good at tackle football. They've won 29 consecutive games. I don't care what division you are. If you have that mentality of you figure out a way to win and you have I know streaks are meant to be broken, but Mike Gundy's teams early on, not all the time, but I've seen them struggle early in recent history. Not that they're the lesser of the team. They just struggle to get things together. They figure out things. Mike Gundy likes to experiment and figure out where players, what the rotations will be. I don't know if I'm bold enough to say that the Jackrabbits from South Dakota State will upset Oklahoma State. I think you're going to see a game like we saw Thursday night. North Dakota State was right there in Boulder, Colorado, ready to upset Deion Sanders' team in Colorado. North Dakota State, another FCS powerhouse. Let's just say this. I will say this. South Dakota State will be in this game within 5 minutes to go remaining in the game. I'm going to say it. They're going to figure out. They have the defensive and offensive lines to compete in this game. Trust me. All right, let's take a quick break so we can give a shout out to our friends at Honest. Honest is a strong word, and we all need honesty when it comes to plumbing and HVAC needs. Somebody who will take care of the repairs efficiently and with quality. Honest Plumbing and Air is who I trust, and they take pride in that word. Honest Plumbing and Air, where a handshake still means something. All right, we're going to end this with Caption This. Now, this photo taken by my friend there in Nacogdoches, the PA voice, longtime PA voice of SFA athletics, namely basketball and football. Took this picture at Homer Bryce Stadium on Thursday night. in Nacogdoches. The storms rolled in tonight. Look at that beautiful shot of that thunderstorm, that cumulonimbus, if you will. Beautiful sight. 45-minute storm delay. But Stephen F. Austin, I've got to tell you this. They were in a lose-lose situation. They were hosting an NAIA program called North American, which is in the Houston area, I believe. They were supposed to play Montana State, an FCS power. I don't know the contractual obligations to that, but Stephen F. Austin found an opponent just down the road, travel, easy, no problems, cost-effective game for them. They got a paycheck from Stephen F. Austin. So the lose-lose situation in this is what happens if you don't beat this team in NAIA, which is below NCAA. I don't think they give out scholarships. They have grant and aid for their student athletes. But what if you don't beat them by enough margin? But what if you lose to them? Then you get criticized by beating them, in which they did. They were up 70-0 at halftime, the Lumberjacks were. Then they had a running clock in the third and fourth quarters just for sportsmanship. So Stephen F. Austin ended up winning 77-0. Well, I've seen this before so many times. They put up a 90-plus spot some few years back against Texas College NAIA program in Tyler, Texas. It's great because you get a lot of experience for walk-ons, too, to get some game action, some memories to make. But caption this: unenviable storm. You like that? The storm that was brewing. Regardless if you win or how you win, you're still going to get criticized for it. I hate these types of games. I hate when programs have to schedule these types of payday games for the other program. But keep in mind, the Alabamas of the world do it. Texas A&M, they do it. They play the likes of Sam Houston. You see Alabama, they play SWAC schools. They play other schools in that region. And it gives teams opportunities to do that. Like Stephen F. Austin next week will be in Denton, Texas to play FBS program, playing up to get a paycheck to play North Texas. But there's a chance Stephen F. Austin could pull that upset off. They could also lose by 30. We don't know that. But that's why you play the game. You play to win the game. Nice shot by Danny Merrill in the press box, by the way, at Homer Bryce Stadium in Nacogdoches. So I just want to remind everybody, hey, enjoy all these games. You start early with College Game Day on ESPN. Go to your game if you're going to one, or go to your porch, watch the games, get those cold beverages, and line up with your buddies, your significant other. Man, share some moments, man, because I'm just going to let you know. I know this is a long season, especially with the playoffs at the FBS level now. But regardless of what level you're watching and love, enjoy every week, because we don't get many of these. And life is too short. College football, it's always great to talk about it.